thanks for coming this morning. So 2 things I wanted to ask first of all is introduce yourself and what have been the main things you picked up from this morning, if anything?
My name is Lars. I'm at the Kelly Services.
Yeah, these guys.
These guys, yes,
Yeah.
behind us. The main things I think is organizations have to be aware of this new agenda with social media and the top management as well, and try to find their way in it in a controlled manner, if you like. Because if you lose it all, then you have problems in the strategy that you have, the risk management that you have in your place, and so on. But the way is going that way anyway. So yeah.
So as a marketing professional, then your job is marketing. How do you balance this traditional marketing control factor of control the brand, this is what the logo looks like, this is how we position ourselves in the market, and this new social world in which you have very little control about what's being said and who's saying it about you? How do you get that balance?
I think maybe to keep it simple, to keep it true, and stay on the target that you have, and try to communicate in an honest way with who you are, what you're going to achieve, and so on, and get people on board with that. Because the moment you're not telling the truth, the brand is not controlled by you anymore anyway. So yeah.
And people will always find you out and come back to it. So looking forward then, where do you think marketing is going in terms of the social age?
Looking forward, I think as we talked about the silos between departments and HR and marketing and so on, they'll go away in a way, and it's going to be kind of difficult to find the right profiles matching the HR side and the marketing side, because I feel that as well as a recruiter, when you can advertise and do everything yourself on social media, why do you want to go through a marketing department? You don't need that anymore. So as a marketer, you have to prove your place as any other.
And how do you do that? How do you make yourself relevant?
Yeah, you have to first of all, you have to try to identify the return on investment, towards the management of the company.
Because they want to see that
of course they want
returning the bucks.
They have to, otherwise it's going to be difficult. So that's the first thing. Otherwise, you have
something in that. Kelly is very good at this. If I compare Kelly to other, say,
globally,
recruitment businesses, in that you're very good at positioning yourself in kind of this thought leadership space, things like the Talent Project and so on, which doesn't have a direct link to people spending kroner or dollars or pounds or whatever currency you want to talk about, and yet you've got quite a strong focus on that within Kelly.
Yeah.
What's your take on why that's important?
I think it's a door opener for our salespeople to go into conversations with clients when you can have this OCG, Kelly OCG that is, to content to have with them and share with our clients. So I think it's a very good thing, but you have to connect them. You have to connect the sales or the role you're trying to fulfill and the content which the overall global network is producing all the time.
Yeah. So it's turning up with a white paper rather than a brochure, for example.
For example, yes, and put some management summary from it, which is related to the client, being in this branch or this industry or whatever. So
and do you think this takes a new type of salesperson then?
Yeah, I think so. You have to be, first of all, aware that there is content out there that you can use. So it's not about knocking doors and cold calling, whatever. You have to bring something to the table, which makes the connection.
And do you think the same applies from a candidate point of view?
Yeah, the good candidate has already done research on you. So you have to be prepared that the candidate is going to ask you some maybe tricky questions based on the content that you have put out.
Which means knowing, I know when I first started in an agency, the first thing my boss said to me is you have to read the newspaper every day.
Yep.
First thing you do in the morning.
Yeah.
When I tried to understand that, he said, if you haven't read the news, you won't have anything to talk to people about.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of gone full cycle back to that.
Yeah, and this is something that we say to students. You have to subscribe to this economical newspaper. If you don't, you're following the business. So
you don't have the conversation.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for supporting us once again. It's great to be here in Oslo.
Thank you.
Thanks.